Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you a quick recipe from Country Crock. I did receive this Country Crock complimentary from the Influenster program. Received also the recipe, which is the make it your own cookie recipe, and I'm going to show you my spin on this recipe. And I started off with 3/4 a cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. That's what they suggest, but I didn't have firmly packed brown sugar, so I used my chunky brown sugar and it was fine. I also added 3/4 a cup of granulated sugar to my mixing container. From there, I added 1 cup of the Country Crock spread. This is the original formula, and I used a spatula to get it out and mix it up together. In my opinion, this was a little bit better than butter because usually with butter you have to let it sit on the counter, you have to let it get soft, whereas this was already soft right out of the fridge. I didn't have any waiting period at all. Then I added my eggs, and I used, the recipe calls for 1 large egg. I only had medium, so I used 1 medium egg plus 1 medium egg yolk. And I mixed this all up, and from there I also added vanilla. This recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm adding them in half teaspoon increments. That's why there's so many, but I love to add extra vanilla to no matter what I make, so I added a full teaspoon of extra vanilla extract. After I got this nice and mixed up, and I had to really mix it up because, like I said, my brown sugar was a little bit chunky, I moved on to my flour. In a separate mixing bowl, I had 3 cups of all-purpose flour, which I added some baking powder to. I did add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Like I said, I'm doing them in half teaspoon increments. That's why it looks like I'm adding more. And also a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Now I actually added a half a teaspoon of baking soda because I like my cookies a little bit fluffier and I don't like them to come out crunchy. I like them to be kind of cakey. Also added a pinch of salt. I didn't really measure this. I literally took a pinch. From then on, I took a whisk and I whisked until all of the dry ingredients were mixed well together. And then I introduced the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and used a spatula to mix those together. And I also folded in my mix-ins. For my mix-ins, I used a cup of chopped pecans, and also I used a cup of cinnamon chips, which I found in the baking aisle. They're similar to chocolate chips except for they're flavored cinnamon, and this recipe kind of tastes similar to pecan pie once they're all baked up. I really enjoyed the fact that the Country Crock spread made this really easy to mix together. I didn't need to use an electric mixer in order to get this all mixed up. It was very smooth, very creamy. Now it's time to get these on a cookie sheet. I just want to let you know that I did preheat my oven to about 350 to 375. I usually like it right in between there. And I'm going to be making about 3.5 dozen. And I'm going to put these in the oven for 12 minutes. You don't really have to worry about shaping these correctly. They don't need to be in perfectly shaped balls. As you can see, I'm just kind of taking them from the mixing bowl and putting them right on the cookie sheet. You can always fix them a little bit with a spoon if they're too close to each other. After 12 minutes, mine are ready to come out of the oven. As you can see, they're nice and puffy, and they're going to remain chewy because of the extra baking soda that I put in. So overall, I love this recipe from Country Crock, and I think you guys should check it out. I think you guys would really enjoy baking with the Country Crock spread. I would have never thought to bake. I always thought this was for like toast. I never would have thought to incorporate it in my cookie recipes, but I think you guys would really like it. And if you check out my cookie recipe, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.